What's going on, guys? How you are doing? Hope you are having a wonderful day. So right about now, we're going to be analyzing gold. I'm going to pinpoint out what we're going to be looking for before we make any decision on the direction the market is going to be going. So what I can see on the chart right now, I can see a bullish move, bullish momentum is coming back. Buyers are stepping into the market right about now. So without further ado, without wasting much of your time, let's jump into the chart and see what the market is doing right about now. All right, guys. Here we are. Let's go. All right, as we can see, we are on the daily time frame. Market just opened and price have started moving up. But that is not our move. So we are not going to capitalize on that. So the next thing we're going to be doing, we're going to analyze the chart and know when we're going to jump on the buy. All right. So normally the way I start to analyze my trade when I go into the weekly time frame, I basically take my chart to the line chart, right? I leave the candle alone, go to the line chart to be able to see the body of the candle where it closed, not the wick, right? So as you can see, we can see the line chart very clearly. Obviously, we're on a bullish momentum. The market has been pushing high, creating higher, higher, lower lows, higher, higher, and all that stuff, right? So what are we going to be doing? What is going on in this area right now? We're not going to be looking at for what is going on right here. So we're going to be basically looking for direction in this area right here, this area. So this is where we're going to start marking our chart. What happened, why the market fell down, and start getting a momentum to going back up again. So right now, let's mark out the key zones, right? First of all, we have this push all the way, the market dump all the way to this downside because the market broke out from this zone previously, right? That's why we have that dump. So if you got that, say, congratulations to you. Okay. So right about now, the price started moving up. We hit this support area. Price started pushing up, creating higher high, higher lows, and the rest of the things. But we're having issue in this area. That's why when price got there, we got a double top, and we pushed back down to create a higher low, right? Higher low, higher high, right? So let's just mark out the key zones, right? So now this is our support. This this was the area price were holding up to before we finally break out of it, right? So this area we're going to be looking out for to take a buy. I'm looking at a buy momentum. Buyers are already start stepping into the market, right? So as you can see, we are on a bullish move, bullish momentum, right? So let's digress a little bit. Let's talk about the market, right? So basically, when we go into the daily chart, you can see the move. Obviously, we can know this is bullish momentum, but seeing a bullish momentum does not mean you're going to jump into the market and start buying immediately. What you are going to be looking at for, you're going to be analyzing the chart to know the area for you to jump into the buy. For you to join the buy, you have to analyze properly and get your confirmation right before you click that buy button, right? So let's jump back into the analysis, right? So market just broke out from the resistance that has been holding after this double top created. Then we pushed down a little bit. We came back. Then we could not break this resistance. The market pushed down a little bit. So finally, we broke this resistance. That is to tell you that gold is pushing up to the all-time high, right? So let's go back to the candle. So we pick the body, you see we broke out already. So here about now, this is the all-time high. So you can see all-time high. Boom. So for me, throughout this week, this is the area I'm going to be targeting for price to get to before we can have a significant pullback or thereabout, or we just continue creating higher highs and higher lows, right? So that is the all-time high, right? So right about now on the daily time frame, as we can see, price broke out from the zone, and the market, the candle, the move that break this resistance, the move started from this place. So we're going to mark the close of that candle area, right? We're going to mark it out, the key zone, right? That's it. So you can see that's where the price pushed back to before we started heading up to the upside. So now we get everything right here correctly. So we are moving up. We started pushing up. We got a very big rejection from this place. We step back to with the support become a resistance from this place. Then we pushed higher, broke minus structure, retested. Now we broke this resistance that was holding price for going back to the all-time high, right? So right about now, we mark them out. What are we going to be doing? We're going to be navigating to the 4 hours time frame. All right. Look at that beautiful move. All right. Look at the beautiful move. So we have two things here, right? So first and foremost, we have a minor structure here, which we are not going to ignore that minor structure. We're going to mark it out, right? It's going to become a minor. We take everything right here. Minor structure. This is what I call it. It's minor, right? Minor structure right there. Okay. So for us to get an entry from this minor structure, this is going to be first attempt, because at the end of the day, the overall move that broke this resistance started from here. So for me personally, I always pull out my Fibonacci toes and push from swing low to swing high. You feel me? So that is what we are going to do. So we can get the area market is going to retrace to before we can jump on the buy and start going to the upside. It's already moving. So let me pull out my Fibonacci toes. Sorry. So picked it from the swing low to the swing high. So we can see the price is telling us that, hey, we might come back to this area, which is going to be 0.618 or 0.50, right? So this is how I normally do my thing. I pull out, I mark the Fibonacci zone like this, Fib zone, yeah, that's right. So it's telling us the next area target is here. Now we know that market is going to get there, right? So let's just pinpoint it. Let's pinpoint it. This next target. Yeah, that's it. All right. Let's take this one out. So that is where the price is telling us. So basically, what are we going to be doing? We're going to be waiting for price to retrace back to the zone. Give us that weak rejection. We start pushing high. So this is the area we're going to be looking at for. This is the area of interest, right? Is the area of interest, right? Area of interest. We're going to be looking at for to go bullish. Yeah. So before we press our buy button. We have to wait for confirmation. So we are normally now already pinpoint at the area we're going to be looking out for before we take a buy trade. But we are not going to take that trade for 4 hours. We're going to move all the way from 4 hours to 15 minutes time frame. All right. That's it. So this is 15 minutes time frame right now. So for us not to miss out, I always do two things. For us not to miss out of this trade, we see this push down before we broke. So we're going to take another Fibonacci zone, which is going to be 15 minutes Fibonacci zone. We're going to pull out our Fib toe and swing high, swing low, to the swing high, sorry. So first attempt is going to be here to go for buy. First attempt, we're going to be waiting for price to get here. All right. We already have our target already. We're not going to take target from here. We already have our target from the higher time frame. So this is a 15 minutes Fibonacci zone. 10 minutes Fib zone, right? This is where we're going to be taking our first trade from, right? So we don't miss out of this trade. If we take our trade from here, we buy from here. When price come back to this place, we buy. If it take us out, you got to be disciplined about this, all right? Risk management is key. Risk what you can afford, not what you cannot afford. Before you start crying, I lost my money, they send out the wrong signal. No, because we're not applying your risk management properly, okay? So that being said, right, let's get right back in, okay? So 15 minutes time, we're going to be waiting for price to push into this place. Meanwhile, we are not going to wait for our entry from here. We're going to move from 15 minutes time frame to the 5 minutes time frame to get a quick execution. Before we get our quick execution, there's a criteria we're going to look out for, right? Okay, so first attempt, let's mark up the 4 hours Fib zone. Fish for Fib zone, all right? So right now, price is pushing. We're gonna ignore that push. That push is not for us, okay? That is not our push. So market will never leave you. That is the thing. Always wait for your setup. Wait for everything that all your trading plans is telling you to do. You check them out if they are going the right way before you execute. So I just analyze everything. We coming from the daily time frame. Don't forget about that, okay? So now we are here, all right? So 15 minutes time frame, we're going to move to the 5 minutes time frame. What is execution? So what are we going to be looking at for? We're going to wait patiently. If price is not coming down here, giving us a confirmation, we have no business clicking any button to buy. So price have to come back to this place, back to this 15 minutes pushed. We are not going to wait for too much confirmation, because sometimes too much confirmation can make you lose out of the trade. All right. They call it fear of missing out. But at the end of the day, you can easily missing out when you are not being active. Price is showing you, is giving you his hand, like I'm ready to go. You have to click the button. But never click the button when it has not met your criteria, your trading rules. You already set out your trading rules. You have to follow that rules, right? So that being said, we wait for our entry here before we shoot up. Basically, this is what we're going to be looking at for. This is Asia session right now. So we're going to wait for London session to see what the market is going to be doing. We might want to retest the Asia low, right? This is the Asian low right here. We're going to be waiting for that to happen before we pull our trigger, right? We are not in a rush. At the end of the day, we want to make money, not to just trade, right? So we wait for our entry, okay? You see, these two things going to happen. We are not going to miss anything. We're going to wait for the push here, get a week. Okay, what is the confirmation? So if you want me to give you everything out, I'm not going to give everything out for free. So I need people to subscribe to this channel, because I'm going to be analyzing my trade. I only trade US 30 and gold, right? I'm going to be analyzing every trade I'm going to take on a daily basis on this channel. So if you want to enjoy every part of this video, if it's giving you value, subscribe and try to share for other people to subscribe to, so we can all learn from this analysis that we are doing right here. Okay, we are just analyzing gold. We're going to be going over gold and US 30. That's it. I don't go beyond that. We just have to stay focused and try to master the instrument that we have chosen and try to understand the language that they are speaking to us. Okay. So that being said, this is what we're going to be looking at for gold. So we have moved to the 5 minutes time frame. Remember, don't forget, we always started all the way from daily time frame, then we narrow to 4 hours time frame. Get it straight, okay? Daily time frame, we marked out our key zones, right? Where price have touched multiple times, we try to get the key zone out of that area. So we navigate all the way back to 4 hours time frame for what area of interest. That was when we pull out our Fibonacci tools and try to get the retracement zone, right? Which we got one for each. For the way we move all the way to 15 minutes, we find out something. For us not to miss out, we have to pull out our fib. We marked all the way from the swing low to the swing high. Then it gave us a retracement zone, right? So that is the area we're going to be waiting on for. We are not going to do nothing until price get down to this place. The market will never leave you. The market is going to be there for life. So all you have to do is sit on your hands, wait for the market to tell you, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. Then you get in. You get in and wait for the Benjamin to come up, right? Price is pushing up now. This is not your market. This is the Asia session. Price always retraced. As you can see, when price left this area, you thought, I missed it from here. Guess what? Price came back. That's why we are taking this swing low all the way to the swing gap. Price is coming back here. And if it come back here, it meets our criteria, we're going to take this trade. So wait for it to come down to this place, that area, and you can create your strategy on how you can jump in. For me, I'm not going to expose everything in this video. If you want to be part of it, shoot me an email and we shall book a one-on-one session. And I'm going to give you everything. I'm going to unpack everything on how I look at the trade, the charts, what I will be looking at for before I jump into the trade. I already give you guys a lot in this video. So stay tuned for more videos. And if you like stuff like this, try to subscribe and click the like button. All right. So that will be all for now. This is the area we're going to be looking out for before we take any buy. All right. So I'm going to be going off right now. That being said, take care of yourself and trade wisely. Apply risk management. Don't forget, risk what you are ready to lose, what you can afford, in other words. All right. Stay blessed. God is the greatest. Don't forget, before you start trade in any area that you are, always pray. Put God first, and everything will be easier for you. So don't play. All right. Take care. Peace.